Right. 20 April 2022. And today I am having a very, very interesting court case. And as you know, I do this often when we have court cases that are of national significance. And this case is very, very big. It involves President Mnangagwa and Mutumwa Mawere. Mutumwa Mawere is a Zimbabwean businessman who is in exile or who is living in exile in South Africa since 2004 when he ran away from Zimbabwe and had to seek refuge in South Africa. And just to give a background, myself and Mutumwa Mawere, we were sued by Strive Masiwa, Dr. Strive Masiwa. I'm going to go into that matter in future because I have got some outstanding issues with Strive Masiwa, which we still need to solve. But we were sued together. And Mutumwa Mawere to me is someone who is always in court. He's very, very litigious. He has had multiple court cases. And last month, we published a case here in South Africa where he is in court with the Industrial Development Corporation over amounts over 60 million rands that he borrowed from that entity and which he has been litigating for years. That case was just concluded. And now, President Mnangagwa has had to respond to Mutumwa Mawere at the Constitutional Court. And this court case is one of many, I think over 20 cases relating to SMM. That is the company that Mutumwa Mawere used to be chairman of, or Shabani and Mashaba Mine, one of the biggest companies that ever existed in Zimbabwe. And this company was put under what is called Reconstruction. So to give you context, Mutumwa Mawere was obtained this company using a structure. And this structure resulted in him getting that company for almost no money or zero money. So the people who were running that company left Zimbabwe and Mutumwa Mawere took over the company. The company was doing very, very well. Now, in these court papers, Mutumwa Mawere is joined by a very interesting person called Professor Tichaona Mupasiri. Why Professor Mupasiri is interesting is because he is the spokesperson of a political party called FEES. And this is just something that I found very, very interesting. How could someone in this political party called FEES, which you know that it's connected to Godfrey Tsenengamu, and Tsenengamu, who I always said he's got other people behind him. So this is a very, very interesting political dimension. And I think this is something to explore, the characters behind this court case. In fact, let me give you a picture of Mpasiri so that you have context of who I'm talking about here. This is Professor Tichaona Mpasiri, who is suing President Mnangagwa together with Mutumwa Mawere. So the court case has got two people. That is Mutumwa Mawere, who is the second applicant, Tichaona Mpasiri, who is the first applicant, and then the president of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa, who is the first respondent, and Edwin Manikai, who is the second respondent. You will see all these documents that I'm showing you here on gambako.com. So there is the response from President Mnangagwa. This court case, the one that I'm talking about here, is actually the second of three. So there's court case CCZ 22 and CCZ 34. And then President Mnangagwa is responding to CCZ 22 and CCZ 27. There are more cases regarding this very case. And the court document by Mupasiri is 105 pages or 101 pages, somewhere there. You will see it on gambako.com, and I want to show you how to maneuver this document so that you don't have any problems. What you do is, when you go to gambako.com, you scroll down to the bottom of the page. You will see 100-page document, and you can scroll at it. Many people struggle with our system, so let me show you how this works. So if you go to this page, you will see the document right now is displaying. I apologize, my electricity is off as we speak. We are on load shedding, so I'm using solar. We are getting load shedding almost on a daily basis. So what you do is, let's remove that banner. Right, you will see this page, and then you are going to scroll down to the bottom here. You will see President Mnangagwa's response, and then at the bottom here, you're going to see the document by Professor Mpasiri here. And then you're going to click here. At the bottom, you're going to see these numbers, page 1, 2. You scroll using this, because I can't put 100 pages one after the other. My server will crash. So you scroll using these arrows at the bottom here. This is the 101 pages that you're going to be able to read through. I need you to read this court case. Very, very interesting. I read through this whole document. It has so much information about why Mutumwa Mawere ended up leaving Zimbabwe, why he thinks President Mnangagwa is after him. If you go to page 35, between page 35 and page 45, Mutumwa Mawere sets out the reason why he thinks President Mnangagwa came after him. So what Mutumwa Mawere said is that President Mnangagwa assisted him to obtain this company, SMM. So SMM, the conglomerate. And he was expecting that Mawere would give him something in return. And Mawere, instead of Mawere doing that, Mawere then went to Mamujuru and aligned himself with Mamujuru. During those days, there's what was called the Cholocho Declaration. And what happened is, Mawere was on Mamjuru's side, and then President Mnangagwa was on the Cholocho Declaration side. And there was a company there called Smoothness. The company called Smoothness was supposed to obtain a loan from a company called FBC, where Mutumwa Mawere had interests. And because Mutumwa Mawere was on the side of Mamjuru, who was in Gamma Talks, what they did is they tried to block President Mnangagwa from getting the loan. That is what he alleges in these court papers. And so that very moment, that is what caused the breakdown of the relationship between President Mnangagwa and Mutumwa Mawere. A political situation developed, and a new law called the Reconstruction Act came into place. This Reconstruction Act was then used to take over SMM, Air Zimbabwe, Wange, and I'm not sure which other company it was used to take over. So Mawere is alleging, and the Professor Tichawana Mpasiri, they're alleging that this act is not proper. It was put in place to politically harass Mutumwa Mawere, and they want this whole thing to be reversed. Mutumwa Mawere wants to get back his companies. I guess that's what he wants. And the reason why they have got Edwin Manikai here, Edwin Manikai was the advisor of SMM, and they allege that he was used. President Mnangagwa, instead of using the Attorney General, he used Edwin Manikai to then prosecute the case. So Chinamasa, who was the Minister of Public, Legal, I don't know, Parliamentary Affairs, whatever that ministry is, he was the minister there. He was used, they instead of putting the address of the Attorney General, where they put they were supposed to put that address, they put the address of Manikai, Dube and Wacha. I think that is the company. They put that address there so that the letters, when they arrived, they did not go to the office of the Attorney General, and instead they went to the office of let's have the correct name. I hate saying the wrong names of things that are right in front of me. So let's look at this one. I want to quickly look at the name of this company. I keep okay. Dube, Manikai, and Wacha. And Edwin Manikai is the person who is the second respondent there, because he actually was the one that was doing all the work for President Mnangagwa. They did not go through the Auditor General, the Attorney General. So the case, it's a desperate case by Mutumwa Mawere. I was asking people, why is Mawere not just letting this go and start a new company and do something new? Because to me, this is a fight to the death. And the characters that are now involved in this case, it has become political. It has almost taken a factional undertone. That is what I'm seeing here. There is now a tendency to challenge the president of Zimbabwe. And you will see that in these court papers, President Mnangagwa is saying he cannot be challenged without an application. So these guys went to court. They did not challenge, they did not apply for leave to sue the president. Secondly, they did not pay a deposit. So President Mnangagwa wants 500,000 to be paid as a deposit by each of these parties before they could go to court. So he's saying, dismiss this case. These guys cannot sue me because I'm president. I cannot be sued for things that I did before I was president. Secondly, they've not paid the deposit because they're foreign entities or they're based out of the country. These are the arguments that President Mnangagwa is giving. And then he's saying that Mawere is malicious, he's wasting the court's time, and there must be costs. So they say there must be costs here to be levied on Mawere because he's just wasting time bringing multiple court cases on the same issues with the same parties. So this is very, very interesting. Please go to gambako.com and read this whole documents. You can spend a whole day reading this. Mnangagwa responds to Mutumwa Mawere. Is there merit in this court case? Like if a real court was to sit, is there merit? To me, this is a case from 2004, and it has been before court multiple times. Let me tell you where it has been in court. It's been in court in Zambia. It's been in court in the UK. Mawere has lost in Zimbabwe, I think over 18 times, but he's won in the UK. He's won in Zambia. However, because of some legalities, Mawere has not managed to keep his companies in Zimbabwe, and they've managed to change the board. And he's challenging a lot of these things. But I think the merits of the case, they are overtaken by the politics. I just think Mawere played bad politics. He did not understand how to deal with the politicians. Because in one of these court papers, he says, he negotiated with President Mugabe. You know that Mawere was very, very close to President Mugabe. I wanted to describe how close Mawere was President Mugabe a week ago, but then I traveled. Mawere and President Mugabe were very, very close. In fact, Mawere and Grace Mugabe, they're quite close in terms of the support that Mawere provided to the Mugabe family, because the Mugabe family, they were not financially savvy. Grace became the financial powerhouse in the Mugabe household because Mugabe did not know how to make money. And Mawere, at that point, he was helping the Mugabe family to make money. He is one of the business people who were close to the Mugabe family. That is my interpretation of this whole situation. And the mistake that he made, the bad politics that he played, was to align himself with Mamjuru, who was not powerful enough, who was not strong enough, when he was originally very close to President Mnangagwa. So in these documents, they actually say it was rumored that Mawere was a front for President Mnangagwa when he did the SMM deal. This is how quickly this situation unraveled. The moment that the deal completed, Mawere double-crossed President Mnangagwa went to Maimjuru, aligned himself close to Mugabe, but he did not know that he was going to be outmaneuvered by President Mnangagwa. This is a very intricate and interesting court paper, which you should read so that you understand what happened here. I think it was a case of bad politics from Mutumwa Mawere, and he played with guys that don't forget, guys that will go for years on your case, and they'll make sure that you don't win. The guys that he played against, they like winning. And I don't know whether aligning himself with fees, what is the implication right now? Was it deliberate, or Professor Tichawana Mpasiri just came? And this Senengamu organization, what is it? I've got questions about the organization that Senengamu is running, and what is its source, and what is its alignment within the ZANU-PF system? Because something is happening here in terms of the politics, but also, why did Mawere make this decision to go with Professor Mpasiri? The arguments themselves, they look more academic to me. I do not know what the court is supposed to do. Maybe I do not understand the law, but at this point, what is it that the Constitutional Court is supposed to do? And that question, I think it's going to come up. This court case, as I said, was in court the same day that Mawere was supposed to be in court here in South Africa, in a court case that he lost on the same grounds. Mawere lost the court case because they said he was wasting the court's time. That was on 24 March. He was wasting the court's time. He was bringing multiple cases. I think they called it the Stalingrad approach of delaying a case until you deny your opponent justice. That is what they said here. Mutumwa Mawere, I know him very, very well. He is someone who likes law. He likes to be in court. And I often wonder why, because he's such a good businessman. If you want to know, Mawere is from the World Bank, IFC. He stayed overseas for years before Mugabe went and took him over there when the National Merchant Bank, NMB, was formed. He told me this story himself. I think one day I'm going to ask him to retell this story. This is an amazing businessman who is spending his time in courts. And I don't understand why he does that. Right, so let me bring this to an end. Guys, go to gambako.com, look for that story. It's got all the documents on there. Let's see what happens. President Mnangagwa has responded, and look at the response from President Mnangagwa. Mutumwa Mawere, as I said, great businessman, but probably played bad politics. Let's look at the comments here. Timothy Zoshe, Nambuzo, you want ZANU to accept criticism, but you don't want to hear other people criticize what you support. ZANU-PF. Okay, today we're not talking about ZANU-PF, we're talking about Mutumwa Mawere. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's go here. Are you the ZANU-PF elite puppet? Okay, CCC guys, they don't know when to differentiate issues. There are days for CCC and ZANU-PF and days for Mawere. Mkoma worship, are you a Judge Gambakwe? How far with the allegations that you are a land baron who is playing good boy to ZANU-PF so that you can get land? Are you now a judge or what? Right, Mkoma worship, I think that's a good question. Myself, what I do is I go out and I try to assist Zimbabweans who are in the diaspora to obtain land as a group. So we pay our own money, we put money together, then we go and we buy pieces of land and we develop them. It's got nothing to do with ZANU-PF. But let me tell you something about ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is the ruling party. ZANU-PF has got some great people in it. Don't listen when you're being told by CCC guys that there are no great people in ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has got very, very smart guys, and they're going to be in office for a very, very long time. You will see that in the next elections, Chamisa is going to lose very, very badly, and ZANU-PF is still going to be in office. President Mnangagwa is going to still be president, and we'll be back here talking about CCC and ZANU-PF. Mark my words. And one thing about me, I want to know. I don't want to be told. So last week I was in Zimbabwe. All the other big media houses, they're telling you things that they had 10 years ago. I'm telling you something that I saw last week, 2 days ago. Next week, I'll be in Zimbabwe. I'm not talking theory here. We are on the ground. And very soon, we're going to start making money in Zimbabwe. People are making money in Zimbabwe. I'm not talking theory here. That's what I am, Mkoma worship, Dumba. Let's go to a last comment. I want to look at a good one. Proactive Africa. Mr. Mutumwa Mawere is not innocent. That is why he doesn't say much on politics. Mr. Mawere is no longer a Zimbabwean. He is dual citizenship. He's got South African citizenship and he's got Zimbabwean citizenship. He was a member of the ANC Central Committee, if I'm not mistaken, until the time when they dismissed him over the Lotto allegations. Look, I know Mutumwa Mawere. He does a lot. He is a very, very busy person. But his biggest weakness is court. If he can stop this business of going to courts over and over and over again, he's going to do very, very well. I don't know why he likes court. I don't think there's anyone that has not been taken to court by Mutumwa Mawere. Like, that is his biggest weakness. And I always tell him, you can't be in court so much. It's not normal. You know, like, imagine you're in court in UK, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, with multiple parties, with banks, with business people. That is a problem. Mr. Mawere, he's got time to now go back and start a big company and do very, very well. Brian Castle, I'm just going to block you very, very soon. I'm giving you a last chance. I don't like blocking you because you're always here, but if you keep on, I will block you. Now, let's go to Mark Savano. Guys, I really enjoy these comments of me working for ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has got no space for a guy like me. I want you guys to know, and I wish Chamisa was watching this. ZANU-PF and CCC, they cannot contain a guy like me. I'm into business. I am the guy that, let me tell you what Tinashe Jonas says about me. He says, Gambako, if we're living in a country like Canada or United States, we're going to be a millionaire. Because the things you do, no one can do them. I'm not a politician, but you cannot ignore Gambako. Ask Hopo. He cannot sleep without going to Gambako Media. He's like the first person who watches the stories that we publish. That is it. Like, honestly, we do stuff to pull his legs. Like, sometimes we just write Hopo 6 asylum in Germany, but we're just doing it just to pull his leg. But honestly, we are into business. And the thing about us is we love Zimbabwe. Me, personally, there is no country that I love more like Zimbabwe. I've been running this company, Gambako Media, for the past 10 years. I was in the United States one day and I was walking at the beach. And I just realized something. The sand in the United States, the trees in the United States, the water in the United States is the same as the water in Zimbabwe, is the same as the sand. There's no difference. I went over there and I was sitting across the table and there were a lot of Americans there. And we started talking and we started to reason and I realized my knowledge is just the same as these guys. There's nothing these Americans have got that I don't have. In fact, they were asking me questions. They wanted me to help them. I helped them. We sorted out their things. I came here to South Africa. I was an auditor here. I audited 20 JSE companies, top JSE companies, banks, mines, manufacturing companies. I audited them. And every room I get into, there's nothing special there. Everyone there, all the directors were the same. So I realized, man, I can do this. But the biggest problem I've seen is our people in Zimbabwe. They've got no clue what they've got. Zimbabwe is the best country that you can ever be in. The planes are always full. People are going into Zimbabwe. You know why? Because there's so much in there. South Africans are making millions in Zimbabwe. Europeans, all these people are making millions in Zimbabwe. And we're sitting here getting to do that. Like, there's a whole movement to get rid of Zimbabweans in South Africa. And yet you've got so much in your own country and you're playing politics daily. And you, on top of that, you're supporting a lawyer, Chamisa. Chamisa knows nothing about business. Like if you were to give Chamisa 1 million and say start a business, he's probably going to start a grinding mill. He's got no clue. The people that are in Zimbabwe right now, they are running business. They are doing a lot of great stuff. And this is the country that we've got. And these are the kind of things that attract me to Zimbabwe. And I don't hate ZANU-PF at all. I like the guys in ZANU-PF. Yeah. If you see me sitting between the ZANU-PF guys, you would think like I'm ZANU-PF. Yeah, because I like those guys. I like the guys in CCC. I don't care about politics. Like when I go into Zimbabwe, don't think my itinerary says go to ZANU-PF, phone CCC or whatever. I don't care about those things because you can't make money in politics. The guys that are in politics now, in 10 years' time, most of them won't even have a shirt on their back. Honest, look at the politicians that were there 20 years ago. They do not have anything. If you want to make money, change the way you think. Stop hating people. Stop politicizing everything. Start thinking about how to get together with other people and make money. And if you are living in UK, in South Africa, in New Zealand, in Australia, don't think you become big there. You're going to just be an employee. And then when you're finished with the work, you're going to go home. You'll be back in Zimbabwe. And you have nothing there. You'll be one of the poorest people there, telling people stories about, oh, I used to live in South Africa. I used to be big in UK. There is nothing there. What we have is Zimbabwe. But anyway, I'm ranting, guys. You know, when I start talking, I talk a lot. Especially when I talk about Chamisa. Chamisa supporters, they confuse me. I don't know how they think. Right, let's go and end this, guys. It's been great talking about Mr. Mutumwa Mawere and his court case against President Mnangagwa, who has responded. I put the papers on gabago.com. And Edwin Manikai, who is a SMM representative, a lawyer for President Mnangagwa. And the allegations there, they are massive. This is exciting stuff. You can make a movie from this stuff. So thank you very much. And let's see what we have to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Friday. Tomorrow is a Friday. We don't come on Fridays. I'll be back here on Saturday with Senator Kalipani Pugeni. I know most of you love Senator Kalipani Pugeni. So you'll be here and we'll chat. Then, obviously, I'll probably be back in Zimbabwe within a month. We're still doing our projects in Kariba. Let's get that thing done. It's amazing. It's like being at the beach. Thank you very much, and good night.
Kuno, abo, pano, mamuona kere.